All right, be honest right now. Do you find yourself saying or even thinking any of the following? Fundraising is hard. People aren't giving like they used to. There are too many organizations trying to hit up the same donors. Nobody wants to fundraise. The board is already giving their time instead of money. Well, I hate to break it to you, my friend, but these little phrases that we say to ourselves are not facts. They are all excuses. They are the things we tell ourselves and each other when we don't hit our goals or get the results we were hoping for. We blame fundraising for being too difficult, too competitive, and too unpopular. If you're someone who has used these excuses, and I'll bet it's like 95% of us, we all do it, then this episode is just for you. Today, we're going to talk about why it's not enough to blame fundraising just for being fundraising, for being itself, and reveal the real reasons why your organization may not be taking in as much money as it needs. Hold on to your hats because I've got a little bit of tough love for you today, because I want you to forget about those lazy excuses and get started diagnosing the problem and getting down to the business of increasing your bottom line. Welcome to Profitable Nonprofits. I'm Bernadette Mack, and I help nonprofit leaders just like you build sustainable, thriving organizations without the burnout. If you're tired of constantly chasing donations, or you struggle with engagement, or you're wondering how to make a bigger impact, well, you're in the right place. Each week, we tackle real nonprofit challenges with practical, no-fluff strategies that you can apply right away. You're doing all the hard work, so now let's make it a little easier. Hey there. For today's episode, you might want to take a little truth serum or pretend you've been ensnared by Wonder Woman's lasso of truth. Because if you want to discover the real reasons why you're not doing as well as you want to with your fundraising, you're going to need to level with yourself and possibly your team. Hiding behind those silly excuses that I mentioned at the top of the show is not going to break you out of your slump or move you off that plateau or make any real impact towards your funding goals. It might feel like those phrases are really true for you, but I guarantee that we could find evidence that the opposite of what we tell ourselves about fundraising is true. There are plenty of people out there who can say, fundraising is easy. People are giving more than they ever have. There are enough donors to go around, and everybody loves to help fundraise. These reverse statements could just as easily be true as the negative ones. It's a matter of perspective. But don't worry, this is not an episode about making mindset shifts, although that could certainly be part of it. We're going to talk 100% honest and practical advice for figuring out what's holding you back. The people who can say fundraising is easy are probably not any smarter or better than you. But they are probably willing to work on the 8 critical things that are needed in order to have success in fundraising. Most nonprofits say fundraising is their biggest issue. But here's the truth. Poor fundraising results are often a symptom of deeper problems, not the cause. I'm here to tell you today that fundraising is not your biggest problem. If you're not having the success you want, or you feel like meeting your goals each year is becoming a heavier and heavier lift, then you and I need to get real about how you're performing in these 8 critical categories. Let's get to it. There's so much to cover, and we'll definitely take many of these topics individually in future episodes. But for today, I want you to get the whole picture. I want you to realize that fundraising is more than just cashing checks. It's a process that starts at the very, very beginning of every nonprofit organization. It starts at your mission. So the first thing you have to get right in order to have fundraising success is a relevant mission and an inspirational vision. Just because your mission was important to the founders of your organization way back when it was started doesn't mean it's still relevant today. Check in with your members, donors, participants, and assess whether your mission is continuing to meet their needs in its current form. Even if your reason for existing is still relevant, it could be that the ways you deliver on your mission are outdated or don't line up with what people need today. Chances are, time has shifted things, and we're often too close to the organization to see the issues clearly. And if you do have a mission statement that is important and relevant, be sure that you're painting a vivid picture of the future that supporters can buy into and remember. How will things be different when your mission is carried out? Future donors need to see it and believe it. Number 2, the second thing you need is a clear and impactful value proposition. Unlike your mission and vision, a value proposition is all about the impact supporters can make through your organization. How appealing is the impact they can make? Can they make the same type of impact anywhere else? How easily can they understand the impact? And how believable is it? Think of it this way. Can donors realistically end the hunger crisis with a gift of $50? No, but they can help you provide a week's worth of meals to a family of 4 with a gift of $50. The value proposition has to be appealing, exclusive, clear, and credible. Value propositions help would-be supporters see themselves participating in your mission. These are 2 very basic things, mission and vision and value proposition, but they take time to get just right. You cannot half-ass your way through this process, and you can't accept that a 35-year-old mission statement has stood the test of time. These fundamental ideas can and should shape and guide everything you do, and they are worth your time to get them right. Number 3, you've got to be able to articulate ideas that engage and excite. Whether it's through regular cultivation emails, blog posts, newsletters, video channels, white papers, or any other media, providing education and thought leadership to your community will help supporters understand the issues and the inspirations that drive your mission. Remember, and this is a big idea here, your audience doesn't fully know or understand your organization the way you do. So give them an inside look at what makes your team tick. The more that people understand about your organization, how it operates, what issues affect it, why your mission matters, the more connected they're going to feel and the more likely they will be to want to support it. So now on to number 4. And this one might sting a little bit, so I apologize in advance, but it doesn't make it any less true. Your organization has to provide service delivery excellence. In other words, your organization must do a good job and be effective at carrying out its mission. You have to strive to be the best in your field so that donors and supporters have confidence and trust in the work that you do. Because even the best marketing and fundraising in the world cannot make up for deficiencies in the way that you conduct business. Remember that you're stuck in the lasso of truth, so be honest. Is your organization excellent at doing business and serving its mission? If not, that will probably show up in your fundraising results. Sure, some people will still throw money at a sinking ship, but eventually, even pity money runs out. All right, if you got to this point and you're thinking, dang, I just wanted a few quick new ideas for fundraising. I didn't know this would require a heart-to-heart. I want you to know that adding a few quick new ideas is why we never have the time to fix the real issues behind the scenes. If you do these things right, over time, you won't have to be chasing dollars so hard and be looking for quick fixes all the time. So stick with me. We're halfway through this list of the 8 things you must do to have better fundraising results, and the next 4 are probably the most important ones of all. Hey, nonprofit leaders, does your mission statement actually inspire action? Or is it an old relic filled with nonprofit jargon and cliches? If you're looking to craft a mission, vision, and value statement that truly connects with donors, volunteers, and stakeholders, I've got the perfect resource for you. My Mission Workbook is a DIY guide designed to help you and your team clarify your purpose, align your messaging, and create statements that fuel real impact. Stop talking around what you do and start connecting your mission with donors and members. Everything, and I do mean everything, starts with a well-written mission statement. Grab your copy today at BernadetteMac.com under Resources. All right, here goes. Number 5. You need to build a community of fans and advocates. Play the role of connector for people who love and support your mission. Creating a community gives donors the opportunity to interact with like-minded people. It also fuels enthusiasm and gives members a sense that they are part of something bigger than themselves. If your organization is based somewhere where local people can get together, make that happen. But you can also build community online. Try polling your members or donors about what types of interactions would be meaningful to them. If you're a trade association or a membership organization, community is what it's all about. You need to excel in that department because there is power in numbers. Number 6, you must make it a priority to capture accurate and informative data. Data is everything. The right data can guide your programming, messaging, fundraising, and your ability to stay relevant. Data about your members, donors, or sector can have important implications for every aspect of your organization today and in the future. How many people open your emails? How many of the openers make gifts? What pages of your website are people visiting most often? What actions are they taking? All of these data points tell you something about what people want and expect from you. They show you where you need to improve and where to focus your attention. All right, next up is number 7. Asking the right people at the right time, rinse, repeat. Here's a fact. At some point, fundraising becomes the proverbial numbers game, and your success will be relative to the number of times you ask the right people for money at the right time. If your results aren't where you want them to be, you've got to consider whether you're asking enough people enough times. Hint, the answer is almost always no. Keep in mind that the donor's right time may not be the same as your idea of the right time. Okay, we're finally to number 8, and it's a biggie. When you hear it, it's going to be so obvious, yet so many organizations do not do it well, or sometimes at all. Yes, probably the single most important thing you can do to improve your fundraising results is to, drumroll please, thank people, preferably in unique and meaningful ways. An appropriate thank you, or any acknowledgement at all sometimes, can pave the way for additional gifts. You don't have to bang your head against the wall trying to acquire new donors if you can keep more of the ones you already have. And saying thank you very well is the best way to ensure that a donor continues to support you. Yet, study after study has shown that as many as 50% of organizations don't send thank you letters or any follow-up messages after a gift is made. Don't be one of them. It sounds crazy and counterintuitive, Of course, we would want to say thank you, but intentions don't count. You actually have to ensure that this happens systematically and consistently. I'm not saying that you have to sit down and write handwritten thank you notes, although that is wonderful, and if you have the time to do it, go for it. But so often I see, and I've been guilty of it myself, people who insist that they're going to write handwritten notes or send some kind of personal emails to donors when they make gifts. They don't want to just send a form letter. It has to be special. And then you know what happens? They get busy. The notes sit there unwritten until enough time has gone by that a handwritten note now seems awkward. And in the meantime, the donor has never even gotten so much as a form letter of thanks. Maybe, just maybe, they'll get an end-of-year text letter about it. This cannot be a thing at your organization. For all the effort you put into finding the money, you've got to put in an equal amount of effort for thanking and staying engaged. This has been proven to lead to more gifts, and the sooner a new donor makes a second gift, the more likely they are to continue giving. One-time donations are not the donor's fault. They're the organization's fault. That might sound harsh, and we all know there's reasons for certain one-time gifts, and we can't very well force people to give again. But we can do a much better job making them feel proud of their donation, connected to your work and its impact, and invited to continue supporting you. I promise you, 9 out of 10 people listening, if they're honest, know that their organization can do a better job of this. Okay, so today's the day we're going to stop blaming fundraising for being too hard, or point the finger at other people for not participating enough, or looking over at our neighbor as if they're competition. Let's set all that aside and start competing with ourselves to get better at the fundamentals of running a successful nonprofit. If we don't have a relevant mission and inspiring vision, a clear value proposition, the ability to articulate ideas that move people, a community where people can connect, if we are not doing high-quality business, or we don't have reliable data that we can track, if we are not asking the right people at the right times, and if we're not properly thanking the donors we do have, this fundraising thing is going to seem hard. But if you're doing all of these things right, or at least improving on all of these things, they will be reflected in your bottom line. It may not be overnight. It takes time to build a reputation, but they just will. Instead of running to hear from the latest and greatest fundraising gurus who want you to implement new techniques and software without knowing any of the foundational gaps in your organization, I want you to learn to diagnose why your fundraising efforts aren't producing the results you want. Shiny objects may gloss over the problems, but they will still be there. So this week, I want you to review your mission statement, your value proposition, and your current fundraising processes. Ask yourself, are you truly ready for more donors, or do you need to fix your foundation first? I'd love to know what you find. Leave me a voicemail at 914-297-7692. Or if you have any other topics you'd like covered on Profitable Nonprofits, I'd love to hear them. Thanks for tuning in to Profitable Nonprofits. If you found this episode helpful, be sure to subscribe so you never miss a new one. Also, consider providing a 5-star rating and help more nonprofit leaders find the show. For more resources and strategies to grow your nonprofit, visit BernadetteMac.com. And if you have a question or a topic you'd love me to cover, send me a message or leave me a voicemail at 914-297-7692. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep up the good work. And remember, running a nonprofit is tough, but you're tougher.